Hi, I'm Ben from cyclingtipshq.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how and when to change over the cleats on your road bike shoes. I'm also going to be showing you a little bit around the operation of cleats, and you are going to get the chance to see with this pedal how the cleats actually work underneath your feet. These are the Shimano R088 cycling shoes. As you can see, they're a bit dirty, a bit grubby. I've had them for a while. As always, this is an amateur video. My cat's around, anything could happen. At the bottom, SPD SL cleats, classic road bike cleats. There's loads of others out there. I'm not going to get into which are the best, but I've used these for a long time. In terms of the kit that we're going to be using today, you're going to need a hex key, normally a 4mm to undo the bolts, some grease to grease up the bolts to make them easier to take off in the future, electrical tape. I use this for marking off the bottom of the cleats when I take them off so I can put them back on in the right position. This, whilst it says muck off, is just water. It's an old bottle. I'm going to be using it to clean up the bottom of the shoes. Some new cleats here. As you can see, these are the Shimano SPD SL cleats. And just a cloth. This is just for cleaning up the bottom of the shoes at the end. So, to get us started, I just wanted to show you a little bit around the operation of a cleat. I'd never seen this before. I think it's quite interesting. So this is my left shoe. This is my left cleat. So when you kind of clip in, you flick the shoe over the front here, and then it clips in the bottom. So you can see at the back here, with a bit of pressure, this is going to clip in. So that is now clipped into the bottom there. The reason I'm showing you this is it's quite difficult to work out when is the right time to replace your cleats over. A lot of people think it's when these yellow parts start wearing away, but actually you can see these are just the walking points. Now, not having them there is pretty important because it means you're going to be walking on the base of the cleat itself. But you can see when the cleat is actually hooked in, it's kind of hooked in 3 places. It's hooked in underneath there, it's hooked in under the bottom there, and then the bulk of the pressure is going on the middle of the cleat. So when you take this out and you're going to twist it, you're going to twist your foot outwards as you take it out, you can see this bit of the cleat is lifting up and coming out. Can you see that? And then when you flick it hard enough, which is pretty hard when you're doing it with your hands, this is going to flick off and flick out, so that then clips off. So that's come off, this bit has come out, and it's come through. So when you're looking for wear on your cleats, you really are looking underneath. You're looking underneath here, and you're looking for this flat bit on the front here. And if there's real wear in those areas, then you know you've got a bit of a problem. The other thing for me is I can always feel when my cleats are wearing out. I can feel it's a bit difficult to get them out, it's a bit difficult to get them in, there's a bit more movement. And I've been getting a bit of knee problems in my left knee the last couple of weeks, and you know that tends to suggest, unless I've got an injury from some other place, there's a bit of change in the cleats. So right, so let's get into changing these over then. So, you take your hex key, very simple. These bolt out. So normally a 4mm key, and these just twist out. Before you do that, if you've got this to a place where it's really good for you and the position is good, the first thing you want to do is to just put something so you know you're going to put the cleat back in the same position. Some people draw around them. For me, I find just a bit of electrical tape is really easy. The other good thing with electrical tape is when you're washing the shoes afterwards, which you probably want to do, you're not then going to be washing off all the kind of marks you've made with the pencil. So I'm just marking along the bottom here. So on the bottom of the cleat, there's 2 points that stick out. And what I do is I just mark a red line along the bottom there. So I take this off. As long as I get this lined up in exactly the same place along the bottom, I know I'm going to be in the same place. So twist out these 4mm bolts, really easy. I've loosened them in advance so it doesn't look like I'm a wimp on tape and I can't take them out. Just going to take the bolts off and put them on here. If my wife is watching, you'll note that I've put a tablecloth on here so that there's not going to be anything on our nice dining table. So we're just going to twist these out real quick, and then what you've got underneath here is you've got your base of the shoe with your 3 contact points in there. Whilst I've got this off, I'm just going to give it a bit of a clean down with this cloth. Might as well, don't get this off that often, so I'm just going to clean down the shoe a little bit. Not going to be perfect, trying to make this video as short as possible. Probably come back and do a bit more to it later on, but might as well get the worst of the mud off. There's normally a bit of an outline for the cleat anyway for when you're putting it back on. So now I'm going to take the new cleat. So I've got the new cleat here. I'm going to put the old one to one side. So you've got your new cleat here, and you can just see the difference between the two. Absolutely massive amount of difference in terms of the cleat. These ones have got more solid points on the bottom, solid points on the top. Going to be better to walk on too. And in here I've got all my new bolts. Kind of wishing right now I'd opened these before the video started, but there we go. Right, and we're back. So the most difficult part of today's operation has been getting into this tiny plastic bag. Now I've done so, we're ready to go again. So within that bag you've got 6 bolts and 6 of these metal things. They just fit over this part of the cleat in these 3 holes, ready for you to screw the bolts in. Now before you start putting them on the shoe, there is one thing I can suggest that I would do for any bolt on the bike, whether that's your seat post, whether that is your pedals themselves. Now it's just get some grease and just run it round the bolts themselves. Now what this will help with is essentially taking them off. What it's going to mean is they're not going to rust so easily and they're not going to get as tight. Now, a bit more professionally, I've done a few of these whilst the video was stopped, so this should make this a little bit quicker. So I've got my 3 bolts that are greased and ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is just put one of these metal bits in the top one and put a bolt in it ready to go. And I'm going to slot this on the top hole of the shoe here and get my 4mm Allen key again, or hex key, and just start screwing it in. Now you don't want to do too tightly at first. I'd suggest getting all 3 in to start with, and then you can do it up a bit more tightly at the end. So take your second one here, put the metal part in, get your bolt in, and then just start screwing it in just enough so that it's going to hold and not fall out. And then your final one is just going to sit on the right hand side for me, left hand side for you guys. And again, just get your 4mm hex key and just screw it up. Now when they're all kind of in a bit, this is where the red tape comes into play. So you can see on the bottom here what I'm going to do. I know where I line it up against the 2 corner contact points here. I'm just going to line it up again, get it absolutely spot on so I know next time I get on the bike it will be really comfortable for me. And then I'm just going to start screwing these up to a decent strength. Now you don't want to do them too tight, but you certainly don't want them coming loose. Just get them so they're at a point where they're not going to come undone, but equally you don't want to be putting all your effort in there. You don't want them to be difficult to come off when you have to take them off at some point again in the future. So just screw these up, make them nice and comfortable. And then when that's done, you can just take your red piece of tape off, finish the work of cleaning around the bottom here, which is where you haven't been able to clean because the red's been on there. And there you can see, so that's the new cleat on the shoe. And you can see with my right shoe here, this is the old cleat. You can see the difference, so they're there and ready to go. So that's the end of today's video. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comments below and I'll make sure I answer every single one of them. If you've got 2 minutes, why not head over to cyclingtipshq.com. I've got loads of good articles and things you can read about cycling over there, and it'd be great to have you as part of the Cycling Tips HQ crew. Thanks for watching. Bye.